Welcome guys, my name is StoneMountain64 and we are just a couple of weeks away from Battlefield Hardline's official release on March 17th. Now if you happen to be an Xbox One owner, plus an EA Access subscriber, or willing to drop $5, at least for 1 month of their EA Access program, then you can play the game early for a full 10 hours on March 12th. Now I talked about this obviously a couple of weeks ago, but the new information that we received was that it was going to be available on the 12th for 10 hours. And of course this is a Thursday, so it's pretty disappointing for me and probably most people, since probably most people work or go to school, etc. 10 hours, I'm at work 10 hours every weekday, so it may not be worth for me to drop the $5 to play this thing early if I can't even do it, but hopefully it'll be available at night. I could do some streaming of it, get some gameplay, and everything's going to be available. So if this does work out for you, then you'll be playing the entire game, single player, multiplayer, and everything you do will transfer over to the full game. Your stats, your progress in the single player, to the full game if you do get it on the Xbox One. Now, besides this information, we also got some new news on the single player, which hasn't been getting any light, especially from myself. Most of the community is more focused on multiplayer, as well as all of my subscribers for the most part, but I thought I would at least talk about it because that's where half of this game's resources went. Unlike the multiplayer, this isn't going to be exactly cops and robbers where you play on both sides. This is a kind of more classic TV drama, cop drama, CSI, all the classic kind of buddy cops taking down bad guys, solving crime cases, and things like that. It's going to be 10 episodes of gameplay that has an overarching theme, with each episode having its own, like story and drama within it, with kind of like next episode previews previously on, and then it will kind of recap what you've done. And I'm actually getting pretty excited for this thing. I haven't seen anything from it besides what you guys have seen, and they actually released this new video, Hardline's Diary, for this week, which features some of the actors and the people that worked on the single player. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it in the description down below. But Hardline also released kind of an article talking about it some more, and this is pretty interesting. You can go through this entire campaign without getting a kill. In particular, which I don't know how that's really going to work, especially for the multiplayer guys who just slay all day. But you can run up to people, and one of the new aspects is freeze. So you can flash your badge, tell criminals to get on the ground, and try and control situations by being stealth, running through the entire thing. As you can kind of see from this screenshot, he's coming in around the back. You can see on the radar on the side there's still other guys patrolling around, but he's got both of these two guys' attention, flashing his badge, telling them to get on the ground, whatever. And you can essentially control situations just by your reputation. And if you do that, and rather than killing people and slaying your way through it, you'll actually be able to unlock things faster, get new equipment, and that'll help you on further missions, which I think it would be even funnier if you were just killing everybody, like zero mercy. You are just a cop that slays everybody, and I might even play it like that. They said you could play through it with getting like maybe 2 kills or something the entire thing. What if you just play through it and kill everybody? I feel like they should take your badge away at that point, because what if it's an innocent person? Or, no jury. You are the jury. You're just laying down the hammer. So I don't know how that's going to be exactly in terms of killing people, and if it'll end the mission or something if you kill too many people, but we'll see how that goes. But that's kind of one of the new gadgets or equipment, is the freeze aspect, telling them to get down. You don't necessarily need to use lethal force. And on that same line, you can also just stun people. So the stun gun that was available for multiplayer is also obviously available in single player. And that's probably where you'll see a better use for it in single player, when you're running around with that thing, versus assault rifles from non-AI players, real people. You're probably going to be at a disadvantage with the taser. It's more of a gimmicky type thing, but when you're playing on single player, you can go for non-lethal takedowns, and again, use that with your badge to kind of subdue situations. The next piece of gadget type information was scan and plan, where you can pre-assess situations before you go in, scan the area, identify targets, so that way you aren't killing the wrong people. You can find clues and things that'll again help you unlock things and go faster. And the final thing I wanted to talk about was tanks. It said in the article that you'll be using vehicles from police-issued sports cars to military tanks, which leads me to believe, well, obviously it's going to be in the single player, but they've already put the resources in for the tanks, which means it could transfer over to multiplayer relatively easily, possibly in some DLC. I don't know. I'm just banking it off this point. Maybe even it's just in one map. I'd like to see that personally. But airboats and a whole bunch of other really cool stuff. So I don't think it's going to be a super long campaign, especially if it's 10 hours. I'm assuming each episode would be about an hour. That's how long most TV shows are. But of course, this is still going to be a game, so you could even put more than 2 hours of content into each episode, I would think, when you're the one actually going in, trying to solve the situation, getting kills, clearing out the warehouse, rather than it just being one fast action sequence that you're watching. You're actually playing in it. And I've liked these types of TV shows, although I don't watch every single episode of all the shows. It's kind of a good mind-numbing show to watch almost, and I think being able to play it and trying to solve it yourself, that might be a pretty cool aspect. I'm kind of excited for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you're only going to be playing the multiplayer, if you're interested in the single player, I'm really interested in reading what you guys have to say about this, and I'll be reading through them all. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to my channel. I've been covering a ton of Battlefield Hardline. You can check out my previous video to see everything that they changed in the patch after the beta had ended, or the recommended video to see some more gameplay from heists on Dust Bowl, which you see me playing here. My squad had gotten into a server when the beta had first come out, and we got to get some of the only gameplay from this, which a lot of people still haven't seen yet. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This is StoneMount64, signing out.